Hi friends, and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. My name is Amanda, and today we are going to be setting up my super cheap Amazon greenhouse. So now I'm doing this to see if I can grow some things in it during the fall and winter. I've never actually grown anything in the winter, and my fall gardens have not been very successful. I do have a more in-depth fall seed starting guide that I made for last year. So if you're looking for something that's a little more in depth in terms of when to start things and what you should be starting, I'll go ahead and link that up here. Fall gardening is a little bit more of a gamble than, say, your typical summer garden, because you really don't know what the weather is going to do. You could just immediately dip down below freezing, get some hard freezes, and then your crops could die. And being Ohio, I feel like the Ohio weather is just like always so all over the place. This year especially has been really bizarre. Sorry, I was getting ready to pull the greenhouse out and I saw this ginormous spider. I went to grab my camera so I could show you guys, and it just disappeared. And so I have no idea where it went. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get this greenhouse set up. I actually might go spray myself with some mosquito repellent real fast because the mosquitoes are swarming. It rained today, so the mosquitoes are out. So I'll be right back. So a couple weeks ago, me and my boyfriend went to this local neighborhood yard sale. We weren't really looking for anything in particular, and we kind of stumbled across this greenhouse. I had thought about purchasing something like this just because we are at a rental property. I can't go ahead and buy, or not buy, but I can't go ahead and build the dream greenhouse that I would want. I do have a stockpiling. There's some like side window, I don't remember what they're called. The little wooden bits right there with the glass are actually like side panels to like a front door from the first house that I kind of lived in as an adult. I was lucky enough to get those, as well as a lot of single pane windows. I got them for free. So they've been just kind of chilling in this garage, waiting for the day that we move and I can go ahead and build a greenhouse with those materials. Anyway, I've thought about buying a cheap greenhouse to kind of get my feet wet into what it's like to actually start seeds inside a greenhouse, because I'm imagining that there's going to be a learning curve when it comes to starting seeds in a greenhouse versus starting them inside where I can regulate the temperature. So in comes this greenhouse. This is a 4.8 by 2.5 by 6.5 foot greenhouse. It comes with side windows, 3 tiers of 4 shelves, and then it kind of has like a roll-up door that I think zippers down, maybe not. But originally $60, I got it for $20 at this yard sale. I thought that was a great deal. I almost didn't buy it, but I was talking to my boyfriend as we were going to the next house to look at what they had. He's just like, that's a pretty good deal. You sure you don't want that? And he could tell that I was excited about it, and so we went back, looked at the paper because they actually had the Amazon comparable, or what it actually cost. And decided to buy it. I did ask them why they were getting rid of it, and they said that their son had used it for a season and that they were moving into a new house and they were going to be building a greenhouse, which I'd be getting rid of the plastic greenhouse too if I got to build one. So it wasn't that it was damaged or anything, it just, they were upgrading. So I'm upgrading now too. So I don't know exactly where I'm going to put this yet, because I do know that I want to be able to anchor it down. I also want it to be in a spot that it's getting sunlight. So what I am thinking is down in the yard by my wooden bed, I think is where I want to put it. That way I can actually anchor it into the ground. Yeah, that's where we're gonna put it. So let's go put this greenhouse up. Since I have you guys in my garden, I'll show you a few things that are fun. So I have always had terrible luck with squirrels getting pretty much anything that is vined. So this is this might be moldy, butternut, Walton butternut squash, got squirrel damage. Got another Walton butternut squash that actually might be ready to be coming off, squirrel damage. But we've got some beautiful starts of some watermelons, which I didn't remember that I had planted. So we've got a few of those, and then I decided to put a cage and a box on this one. But we've got this guy, and he's getting pretty big. We do have a squash bug in there, if you guys can see him. Right there, chilling on the leaf. So a lot of my plants have gotten tons of damage from squash bugs. But these guys just keep on sprawling. And then we've got a pumpkin in here. And you can just see, can you see all of the grasshoppers? The amount of grasshoppers in my yard is crazy. But we've actually got some pumpkins, which I wasn't expecting. So we've got this guy right here. He looks like he got some squirrel damage. And then, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this one. I don't really wanna walk too far up in here, because it kind of scares me a little bit. Oh, there we go. You see him? He's getting bigger. Looks like we got another little one in there too. Right there. And yeah. So I might actually get pumpkins this year, so I'm super excited. Lots of things growing in the garden. Tomatoes are probably the ones that are not doing the best, but that and some of my peppers. But we're getting some things that I didn't expect to get, like watermelon and pumpkins. So the area I'm thinking about putting this greenhouse, get you guys set up a little. So I'm thinking about putting the greenhouse somewhere right here. That way it's kind of off my steps right here, but not too much in the way of where my dog likes to be in the backyard. I don't think that this came with instructions. There might be some in there. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty nifty when it comes to putting things together, so maybe it won't be too hard. I'm gonna grab that now. This greenhouse also came with the tote, which I think makes the deal even better. So super excited about that, because then I got storage for it. kind enough to leave some of this in here. The thing I'm not seeing is instructions. So we're just gonna have to make do with figuring it out. So to me, you've got 4 of these corner pieces, which would be I would assume the corners right here on all of the corners of the building. Alright, and then it looks to be that we have 3 really long straight poles, and the rest are shorter. And then we have some even smaller ones. So I'm guessing that these are going to be for the shelves to lay flat, come out like towards us, while these guys are going to be, you know, the length of the shelf. And then these super long poles are going to be the top portions, like the very top part of the house and the 2 sides. So now we just got to figure out how to get these guys together with their little connecting pieces. I think I've got the roof, which, turn this over. There she is, in all of her glory. Should go about right there. Maybe I'll tuck her in a little bit more towards the trees. But this is good to start. There's a lot of pieces in here, and a lot of little bits and bobs. So I'm gonna keep going at this and see if I can get this set up before I need to eat dinner. This project was a lot of fun and really made me use my brain. It was just a big puzzle, and after a while I started realizing that some of the pieces weren't adding up to where I needed them to be. And so I actually eventually went online and looked for an instruction manual. And instead of looking at that, I ended up finding more pictures available on the Amazon posting for this product, which I will go ahead and link in the description box below if you guys are interested. Obviously, this is not a tutorial by any means, especially since I didn't have instructions. But the pictures gave me more references, more angles and views, so I could see what lengths of pipe were being used in what sections, which made me realize I actually had used the wrong pipes on the top of the roof that needed to actually be for a different portion. All right, so I think I'm getting somewhere closer. So I needed to switch out these 3 bars. The really long ones are actually for the width of the building, not the length or depth. And so right now we've got the roof, and I started working on the base, which is that bit down there, and I just need to finish assembling, but I think we're getting somewhere close. I went online and I looked up the Amazon item thing and looked at the picture. Had a couple more pictures than what I have. And I also was gonna look at some YouTube videos. I'm sure there are some YouTube videos out there on how to set this thing up. If I had the instructions, it wouldn't be an issue. But I think just based off of looking at the picture, I can figure it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this because I'm getting really hot and the mosquitoes are for sure biting me and it's super itchy. Well, there you have it, friends. I've got a greenhouse. All that's left to do is kind of tie it to the structure, this top piece, and kind of anchor it to the ground so it doesn't just fly away, especially if we have a really good windstorm. It would really suck to come outside and this just to be gone. But I'm super excited about the potential for growing things in this during the winter and the fall when it gets a little bit down below freezing, especially. So I go ahead and secure the bottoms of this so that they're flush to the ground. We're not letting in too much air. Maybe use some bricks or something to kind of keep those anchored to the ground. Yeah, I am so excited to be growing in my garden with you guys. I'd love any tips or tricks for growing in a greenhouse, whether it's a small greenhouse like this or a large greenhouse for the ones in my future dreams. I'd love any tips or tricks, let me know down below. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this little greenhouse adventure. And I'll go ahead and pop a video up here for you guys until my next upload. But until then, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let's sow a legacy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.